Good afternoon, everyone. It is January 2nd, 2023, and a pretty interesting session we had. During yesterday's video, I was saying, oh, we'll probably have a quiet session, maybe even an inside day, provided nothing happens overnight. And, well, stuff did happen overnight. I had a level here at 28. That was the settlement lows from this Thursday RTH session. We hit that and we crapped out pretty hard. That was right around the Euro Open. So Euro Open at 3 o'clock, 3:30. We hit that, and just an aggressive sell, gapping down. By the time the RTH actually happened, we had this nice sort of short covering before the Open. But sorry, we did end up gapping down below the prior week's low, gapping down below the prior week's third standard deviation of VWAP, all that sort of stuff. So uh, when we do get something like that, it's not too unusual to see just a really difficult time being able to rally, and that's going to be the same kind of the same thing I'll be looking for tomorrow. Uh, the idea being is you're opening pretty much we opened below all the relevant structure, open below the day prior is open, the day's low, blah blah blah, all the highs, all the lows, all the closes, you're opening below all pieces of structure, so all those guys are offside. And that's what we saw. um, I tried to get short here. Where was it? 85 here, didn't get filled. Didn't end up taking it again. Shorted here, 93 and three quarters. Unable to meet my mark at 85. We closed the gap and then just crapped out for whatever that is, but 3 hours straight. Churned around this prior area of interest from back here, churned and then got these big covers into the close, which is we've been seeing some sort of dramatic action into the close for the past couple of weeks now, past 2 3 weeks. So and NQ was actually considerably worse, while ES was able to more or less kind of chop around the open throughout the day. The open being 83s, we traded around there throughout the day. NQ opened up at 864, and after that, by about 9:40, 9:45, this thing was unable to get back to the open for the rest of the day. It stayed offered under this kind of 780 spot, which I think that is some sort of level of interest. So let's get into what I'm looking for tomorrow. Let's start off with the ES here. There we go. If we break the prior day's high, if we break 97s, if we do something like this, yeah, sure that works. If we open something like this, there you go. Open something like this, turn around, break the prior day's high here, come back. I will get long 88s for a move into somewhere around here, and anywhere around here is where I'm going to be looking to get short. If we open under 97, so under that third standard deviation of VWAP, I'm going to be looking for a short. Same with 48.17s. I'll be fairly aggressive with that. I'll probably be buying somewhat out of the money puts at that point. I'll probably be buying whatever is equivalent to 48.05. The idea being is if we once again open so low relative to last week's VWAP, relative to last week's average prices, the thought would be that we should continue to have that downward pressure. So that's what I'll be looking for on the ES for the long and short side. Going down to 47.69s, this is the area that'll be most interesting in long, 69s and 61s. 61s, we saw some pretty great bids on this big liquidation day. That's where we held again pretty nicely on that Thursday session before a look below and then rip back upwards. And you can see in the past as well, going back to the 13th, had a nice offer out of there. Bids. So that's what I'm mostly looking at now. 46. If we do break down below this kind of 60 spot, 46 is where I'd look for us to get into. That's where we were bid on that Wednesday session into the close. Once again, bid on that Thursday session, and once again, roughly where we found a bid. I think that was an FOMC session here, that Wednesday, December 13th. I'm not going to be trading this thing if we get down that low. So ideally, we'd along here somewhere in the 60s. perhaps along around 88 if we do break the prior day's high. Uh, if I'm unable to get the long, I'll be looking for a short at 09 or 17s. Not going to pay attention to this 31s. There we go. So that's what I'm looking for on ES. On the NASDAQ, a lot more red. And I mentioned this yesterday and it rang true today. And that is that the NASDAQ has just been far, far weaker. Again, we opened and we did not come anywhere near that open for the rest of the day. So, with that in mind, uh, if I see evidence of weakness of the NASDAQ overnight and a lack of significant strength by ES in the other direction, I'm going to be looking at short somewhere around that kind of 780, let's call it. So if we are trading below the prior day's high on ES, so no notable structure being taken, I will get short around 780 and look for a move down to new lows essentially on the week on the Nasdaq. Uh, I've got a level there at 640. We'll see if I can play with that tomorrow morning. Right now, there's no setup around it. 590 and 560. Let's go back here. That is from the FOMC session, that December 13th session. That's pretty much the FOMC low. And here was a consolidation and strong move upwards into the close from the day prior to that, from the 12th. Both areas that possibly could get bids. I'm not going to be getting long, but instead I'm going to use these as markers of strength, essentially. If we break down below them, I'm not going to be looking for any sort of strength on ES. So if we do get a scenario where NQ is trading around 590 to 560, somewhere around there, and ES is trading around here, I'll probably take ES long. Short side, again, if we get some sort of overnight low break, I'll probably get short around 700-ish. Maybe I would move that up to whatever this is, 730-ish, maybe. I don't know. I'll probably get short somewhere around here if we do get a break of the overnight low during the RTH on the NASDAQ. Otherwise, getting short here, getting short at the open if we do manage to ramp high. 904 is the other spot I want to be short. That's a major level. 969's another major level of ours. You can see the huge bids here. There you go. It's clear on a scrunched up 5-minute. Here you go on a 30-minute. It's very very obvious. And if we do make our way up to kind of 17,000 or so, I'll be looking for puts, which I doubt we do make it up there. I doubt we make it up to the prior week's close and all that sort of stuff. If we do, I'll be looking for puts now. I imagine we'll end up closing somewhere below this kind of 980 spot. That's all I got. We are. Where's a high time frame chart? Let's go to a 2-hour. Let's take off all this stuff. Give me the RTH. Look. What we had was a giant run up, a consolidation, and then a further run up, and now a consolidation, which looks like a distribution. Okay, that's how price is behaving. We haven't been making higher highs; we've been taking out the lower lows. To me, this is a distribution. I talked about this, I think in yesterday's video, where look, they kind of drift up, big sell, drift up, sell, drift up, sell. This is kind of the same thing, drift up on a higher time frame, and now we're getting the sell. So I imagine, I don't know, this feels like kind of a stretch. I wouldn't be surprised if this happens until 16,300 or maybe even lower. Maybe we close that gap down to 16K, and from there we can start moving on upwards. That's how I'm looking at this. To me, we've done a nice big distribution, and now we're just moving down. And I would rather not be trying to find the bid. I don't want to do that. I'd rather play this from the short side, especially the Nasdaq. So that's how I'm looking to do it. Hope that makes sense. Hope that helps. Have a great night. Trade safe.